Listen, man, you gotta do something, man. Last time I was at a church, man, daggone pastor told me he got swallowed up. I got an idea. We're gonna join the ISUPK. We go in there, we do our 90 days. We come in there to go to class, we're all black. After 90 days, we get our Hebrew name. Before you know it, we officers or captains or something. Got 4 or 5 wives. It's gonna be dope. Nigga, you bugging. I ain't trying to go out in the corners. See? You already talking like an Israelite. Nah, bro, I ain't with that shit, man. I vote no 3 times. No, no, no. You only get 1 vote. I vote yes. Let's ask Otis. Otis, cousin. You know this is crazy, man. These dudes be dressing like superheroes on the corner. You trying to do that? Come on, Otis. I know you love the women. You can have 3 or 4 wives in there.
I vote yes.
Man, this is crazy, man. This is some crazy shit. Crazy, crazy, crazy.
Excuse me, brother. What's up? Don't I know you from somewhere?
Nah, man. Nah, you don't know me.
You ain't never did radio before, nothing like that?
Nah.
You go to church? Matter of fact, did you do a testimony at the church?
Man, tell me to eat your big ass biscuit.
Nah, no disrespect, brother. You just got a real familiar voice. That's all I'm saying. Familiar.
Listen, man. Whatever y'all talking about, I'm in. We need to go ahead and do that shit now. Then it's on then. All right, man. Well, let's get it then.
Wanna look like, wanna act like, wanna look like, wanna dress like, wanna look like, wanna act like, wanna look like, wanna dress. See that fake motherfucker? Wanna be word.
Okay, brothers. I love the image. Let me ask you fellas one thing. Are you sure you want to join the ISUPK? I mean, there's other groups you can join like IUIC. I mean, purple is really in style this year.
Purple these nuts. We are ISUPK. Take it or leave it.
All right, brothers, let's get started. So, I want you to join us, and you want to join us. And we want you to want to join with us. Let me ask you guys a couple of questions. Can you speak loud at camp if you don't have a microphone?
Yeah.
Do you make sisters mad when you go into the women's scriptures?
Yeah.
Do you believe in having more than one wife?
Yeah.
And do you believe in going to the club and being around beautiful women?
Whenever possible.
Do you advocate the use of guns or weapons to defend yourself or settle civil disputes? Okay. Last question. Do you guys respect anything at all?
Not a goddamn thing.
You got a deal. Welcome to the family. Whatever. ISUPK. If you can't trust me, you can't trust us. I love it. Go.
Sound production, take 2.
Action.
But let me ask you one thing. Do you really want to join the ISUPK? I mean, there's plenty of other groups out there that you can join. No? Right. Action! Well, let me ask you fellas this. No, not action! You can join. All right. Action! Okay, brothers. I love the image. You looking at the camera still? Or you looking at? No, I was looking at bro.
Look at him on this part.
Action!
Then it's on.
Hold on. This says then it's on.
That's what I'm saying. Okay.
Right. No, but don't do nothing.
Oh, don't do nothing. Okay. Then it's on then.
Action!
Oh, one more. Salaki.
Action!
Yeah, you gotta be like
right,
creepy with it,
and then just back away.
And I'm gonna sit there like,
and then turn around and be like, action!
All right. But,
action!
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Action.
Hey, quiet on the set.
Quiet, hold it down. Okay. Y'all ready?
Action. All right, brothers, let's get started.
God damn. Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Yeah, man, y'all shit was dope, man. Yo, Zara, you really about to go to New York, bro?
Yo, man, we out.
Man, you ain't going no damn New York, bro. You don't be going nowhere like that.
Yo, man.
See, I've been places, you know what I'm saying? I travel. I go, you know what I'm saying? What about you, Shrew?
I mean, niggas don't really be going nowhere, but I do. I know I do.
Where you been at? Where you been at, man?
Shit, I be out Puerto Rico. I be out Cuba.
Oh, I've been in the
This nigga ain't been no motherfucking Cuba, man.
Where's the Cuban cigar at?
Niggas go to Baltimore act like they been somewhere.
I've been places too. I've been to places too.
I don't know what you gonna need.
Man, what's your Cap? Well, I know Cap. He's an international. Where you got? He's been all over the place, Cap.
Trinidad, Canada.
Damn,
I've been around, man.
Damn, you been out there with Drake and all that shit?
Damn, that's better than what I was.
What about you, Yashima? What's up?
No, I'm from Jamaica, but I've been Canada, Florida, New York.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? Philly.
Shit. What about you, Cap?
Well, I'll tell you where y'all niggas ain't been.
Yo, Cat, where you been though, man?
Man, I've been where y'all niggas ain't been. I've been to the Passover.
What?
Yeah, y'all ain't never been there? You ain't never been to the Passover?
Damn,
What
Cat,
up?
that was a hurt piece.
Y'all ain't never been to the Passover? Y'all ain't never been to the Passover?
What the fuck is the
You ain't never been to the Passover? Huh? You ever been to the Passover? My bad. But y'all ain't never been to the Passover?
Unfortunately not.
You got the lamb slaughter. You got General Muhammad's class. We got the children's party.
Children's?
They got stuff for the kids to do. We got babysitters. They need babysitters.
I love the kids.
I ain't fucking with them kids.
And we're gonna have the black party.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and guess what?
What's that?
If you pay your Passover fees up front, you can get in the black party for free.
Hell yeah. That's what I'm saying.
black party?
It's gonna be performances there. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be open bar with the beer and the wine all night. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna be in the building, you know what I mean?
black party? Shit.
Keep going.
Bro, you already know what it is. We do it bigger and better every year. This year, the 54th annual Passover.
And before the Passover, we got the biggest party of the year. It's the annual Black Party, March 30th. That's on a Thursday at the Durham Armory. Make sure y'all in the building.
And the moment y'all all been waiting for, the 54th annual ISUPK Passover, April 1st. April 1st, we doing it big. Once again, serving the Most High in Raleigh, North Carolina.
And you can get all of that at this year's Passover.
I'm about to live a lifestyle. Say pipe up till I pipe down. These niggas got a pipe dream. Baby girl is sweet as ice cream, and I need you better believe it. Sit back, lick my cheeks. Burn your champagne to me. Competition ain't free. I'm about to take them to the tree. They gon' get starved for bread. Keep it starved for bread. Yeah, play, I'm not impressed. I have them holding chest. Like he having heart attacks. Told them hard to death. I know what I'm seeing, but they don't believe. Go ahead. Look at him so much shit. Where would it go? Let's go. We undefeated. You better believe it. Fuck me, nigga. I get you. Try to line up. Like a bomb on. Prepare for fallout. One way side, what you talking about? Me and my nigga about to ball out. Me and my nigga about to bow out. Tell them where to go to the fallout. Mama John can't call out. I'm in the wind with a long out. Don't give a damn about the track. Regular lose, nigga. You about to lose today. Nigga got moves to make. ain't moved away. Choose your fate. Hope these fools are fake. Ain't got a card to play. Nigga ain't hard to break. You get dogs today like the brother Sean told the hard way. Nigga wait out of your league. Please believe me. But the goal live got all eyes on me. Give a damn what they talking about. Got soldiers ride with me. And you know I'm lethal. That's my reason. I'm gonna get it. Yeah. See, they ain't gonna believe it. See, with it, they know that. So the world, I can't go there. Ain't no power, I don't know that. Bitch around and take a toe there. Put it up, you know, good to go. Get the boy, you know, good to go. It won't smoke, I'm a bitch nigga in my bedroom doing the Clipsy roll. Big no, big no time. Big no time. Well alive, well alive. Nigga, I'm flowing the vibe. I know it's gone because, gotta stay focused. In the group, I'll be a soldier, you be my loaded. The feeling sounding and showing my spirit to go and holding me high and head. The leading soul is on my shoulder and I see my shoulder and then I'm black. Oh, black. She's speeding flat. You grip it, fuck your leader, I don't feel it. Touch your God, I don't feel it. And got his eye about to kill him. Hold on, let me take the rhythm. Okay, I got it, I'm ready. You crossing like he gon' regret it. I'm steady. Hold it, keep it going steady. The devil certified one west side, it ain't hard to tell. It's hard to say. People who raise this nigga better watch yourself. Easy stress, taking me blue faces like a dog to bed. And like it's so hard to fit. Drop when you gotta guard yourself. You know how to keep it, they try to come get me, I'm squeezing, you better believe. Got all eyes on me. Let's go. Give a damn what they talking about. Got soldiers ride with me. You know I'm lethal. I got my reason. And I'm gonna get it. See, never believe it. Yeah, man. Damn right. 54 annual, man.
One Westworld, 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 Westworld,
This one Westworld.
I guess I should ride with Flex.
They talk about man. Oh, no. Yo, it's about time, so no curses to our enemies. You can try to run where you going, it's your destiny. You gotta fall, never rise, that's the melody. What you get to dawn, right, get another legacy.
Gotta do the shit, when I do it carefully. You can lose everything you own over jealousy. When I met her, I ain't never sweat her, I just let her breathe. See you down, keep my foot on you, that's not my pedigree. At your throat, I done took her oath, I pray I never leave. I'm a different guy, you're surprised, tucked in my sleeve. Boy, you fucking stupid, soldier seat for some bloody bees. True nature, cut the conversation, better keep it brief.
It's about time, so no curses to our enemies. You can try to run where you going, it's your destiny. You gotta fall, never rise, that's the melody. What you get to witness, the beginning of a legacy.
It's about time, send them curses to them enemies. You can try to run where you going, this your destiny. Confusion gotta fall, never rise, that's the melody. What you get to witness, the beginning of a legacy. It's about time, send them curses to them enemies. You can try to run where you going, this your destiny. Confusion gotta fall, never rise, that's the melody. What you get to witness, the beginning of a legacy. It ain't that they don't wanna know, we tell them, they just won't believe. It's about the journey, I ain't worried, moving at my speed. Saying we ain't much to be desired, gotta disagree. Sparring one of mine, then we spinning like rotisserie. Go against the odds, I'm ready, it's another victory. Cut different, niggas moving foul, where the referee. Moving like the military, something they ain't never seen. One Westworld for the people, this is what they need.
It's about time, so no curses to our enemies. You can try to run where you going, it's your destiny. You gotta fall, never rise, that's the melody. What you get to witness, the beginning of a legacy.
It's about time, send them curses to them enemies. You can try to run where you going, this your destiny. Confusion gotta fall, never rise, that's the melody. What you get to witness, the beginning of a legacy. It's about time, send them curses to them enemies. You can try to run where you going, this your destiny. Confusion gotta fall, never rise, that's the melody. What you get to witness, the beginning of a legacy.
Add the screen. There he is. Let me get my camera correct. Y'all bear with me at home. Shalom to everyone that is in the chat, everyone that have ventured out to class. Shalom to you all as well. Let's see. All right. I believe that'll do it. All right. Shalom, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakatham to all my brothers. Shalom, Yahweh Shemar, Thumb Bashem, Yahweh Shai to the sisters. We are the ISUPK. That is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, starting out of 1 West Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. I am Priest and Officer of 1000, Mataziala. Tonight, I will be holding down the helm. Tonight's class, we're going to be talking about zeal, the zeal of the Lord. Exactly what is zeal? And do we have it? You understand? Because you're going to need it here in these last days. You're going to need every ounce of zeal that you can muster so that you can stay strong, that you can finish this race that has been set before us, that we all in our own way have to endure. We are in our own way. No one can hold your hand and escort you into the kingdom. You understand? You have to do things on your own. You have to kill your flesh daily, unalive your flesh daily. We're not on TikTok. I think that's only TikTok, correct? Where you have to be so correct on how we talk, or is that all over?
It's all over.
That's all over. Oh, sorry. All right, go out. No sweat. All right. So, to be unalive. So, unalive will be the term that we use. All right. That zeal, our enemies don't want that zeal to be stirred up within us. The zeal to serve our king, to serve our power, and to do everything according to what is written and according to what thus saith the Lord. According to your traditions and your laws and your statutes and your commandments, your constitution, your way of life, your customs, your culture. You understand? You have some type of loyalty to your people, your folk, your kin, according to the flesh, as Paul so eloquently put it in Romans. My kin, according to the flesh, so that we're not mistaken. So that because now we have to contend with this spiritual Israel idea. You understand? When the Bible never talks about that anyone can be Israel just by your spirit or what have you, and you can just come into and be another nation's nationality by believing what they believe, right? Just because I go over to China and study Buddhism and whatnot, in this very skin that I'm in, with the same woolly hair that I have, if I go over to China, study Buddhism and do everything that a monk do, get to the whatever level of Shaolin and be the best Shaolin master over there possible, I'm still not going to be that people. I'm still going to be looked at as an outsider, even though I know the culture down to its teeth. I'm still not going to be that people, because when I was conceived, my father carried a certain seed, a certain genetic, a certain nation, a particular nation in his loins. All right, and that particular nation is within every male child on this earth. You understand? That's why we don't at Israel we don't believe in no mixed children, and I know, and you know, it's a fun terminology to use and all that stuff, but the truth is the truth. You are who your father is, and that's all there is to it. Just simplify things. It makes things a lot simpler when you can just say, okay, what's your dad? Okay, that's who you are. It makes it very simple. And the Bible says that Christ, what? It's simplicity in Christ, right? So that goes right along with the river of the Bible. That goes right along with the flow of the scriptures. All right. It doesn't contradict a thing. Okay. So shalom to everyone in the chat. Shalom, just starting paint. Shalom to UPK, Shara, Yakar. She's on it. Most I cry. You did it in on your YouTube account, and you went and doubled down on your Facebook account. I'm gonna need everybody to take that lead and do it on their Facebook and YouTube, if you could, if you will. Just it don't take but a couple of seconds to hit the like button, especially on Facebook. If you hit the like button, if you see the stream, hit the like button and it will register. I don't know why it doesn't do that for the YouTube, but it does it. It registers for your Facebook. All right. So tonight, let's start with well, let's see. How y'all been? How everybody been? For the young man, what's your name again? Chris. Young man Chris. That's right. Young man Chris. Sister Kanab. Adawan. Thashiyam. And everybody that's in the chat again. Just Art and Paint. Just Art and Paint? What's your Hebrew name? Do you have a Hebrew name? I would sure like to know. Because I believe you are one West. If I ain't mistaken. You've been around a long time, sis. As far as I can remember. All right. So let's start with our king. Talking about the zeal of the Lord. Let's start with our king, Yahushua, in the book of John, chapter 2. And we're going to start at verse 13. Whoever gets it, as soon as your man Chris, if you can get out of that for me and read that, starting with verse 13, Baba Kasha, that'd be greatly appreciated.
You said John 13?
No, John chapter 2, start with verse 13. Oh, let me scribe that also. Let's see. Oh, you got that? You scribing? I don't want. Okay, no sweat. I can stop my screen share.
This is the book of John, chapter 2 and verse 13. And no man has ascended up to heaven, but he that came down from heaven.
Slocket.
You said chapter 2, verse 13?
Yeah, but that's not what I have. The book of
Salakia.
What you in again?
No. I got 3.
Oh, those were
This is the book of John, chapter 2 and verse 13. And the Jews Passover was at hand, and Yahushua went up to Jerusalem.
Meaning that Yahushua kept the law. He got the Passover. You understand? We are commanded every year. There are 3 feasts that every male that is Israel born must attend. And those 3 feasts are, fucking get it real quick. That's in Exodus. I'm just going to read it off. You don't have to go there. It's in Exodus. Give me 1 second. If somebody got it before me, you can go ahead and yell it out. Man. One of them is the Passover. The other one is going to be the, I believe it's the Feast of Tabernacles. Let me get it.
What you looking for?
The 3 feasts that every male Israel born must attend. There's 3 feasts that we must attend.
You want it in Leviticus?
If there is it in the, you can give me if you found it in Leviticus. Sure, I'll take it in Leviticus. Oh, I got it right here. It's in Exodus. Salaki, I got it right here. Exodus chapter 23 and verse
14.
Yep, 14. Start with verse 14.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 23 and verse 14. 3 times thou shalt keep the feast unto me in the year. Thou shalt keep the feast of unleavened bread.
Right.
Thou shalt eat unleavened bread 7 days, as I have commanded thee, in the time appointed of the month of Abib.
Right.
For in it thou camest out from Egypt, and none shall appear before me empty.
Right.
Verse 16. And the feast of harvest, the first fruits of thy labor, which thou hast sown in the field, and the feast of gathering, which is in the end of the year, when thou gatherest in thy labor out of the field.
Right. So those are the 3 feasts that every male in Israel, every Israelite must attend. Feast of unleavened bread, basically, which is the Passover. It's the same thing. It's basically the same thing. The Feast of First Fruits and the Feast of Tabernacles, which is the end. What they call it here, the feast. The feast thou shalt and the feast of ingathering. Ingathering is the term they use, which is in the end of the year. Right? Those are the 3 feasts that you have to attend every year. All right, we can go back to John chapter 2.
This is the book of John, chapter 2 and verse 13.
So we just showed how Yahushua kept the law of Moses. People like it amazes me how technical and people try to be just to discredit the Bible. You understand, the word of God. They will say that's the law. That's Moses' law. When you're talking about keeping the law or not. What law you talk? Is that God? Is that Moses? Like Captain Tazark said, if it's in this Bible, it's scripture. All right. The Lord didn't put anything in here he didn't want in here for us to have. And the Bible says in the book of Romans, chapter 15, verse 4, which is one of our favorite scriptures, that it says, Romans 15 and 4. I'm gonna read it real quick. It says, for whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning. Everything that's written aforetime was written for us to learn, for us to be educated, for us to grow thereby. All right? It's food for thought, and you must eat it so you can grow. Written for our learning, that we, which Paul's audience is Israel. Paul did not write to any heathens. He wasn't writing to any heathens. He wasn't seeking out heathens to try to get heathens to convert to the doctrine of the Israelites, to the doctrine of the Jews, to get them to come into heaven because Yahushua died for their sins too. That was not the gospel that Paul was preaching, contrary to popular belief of the Christian church. Christian church believed Christ died for everyone on the planet. But it can't explain. Well, why does it say to the Jew and Gentile? Where is everybody else? Who's Gentile? Who are the descendants of Gentile? Who was this person named Gentile that the Gentilites descend from? Right. And these are questions that just can't be answered honestly or with any type of integrity. So you have to filibuster. They have to come up with all type of things to support the lie that they have been taught. And because of that, that's why we have a very large number of people who profess themselves to be Christian, because it itches their ears. It just makes them. It's a feel-good religion. It has no accountability or nothing at all. You can do whatever you want. There's no repercussions for anything, and that's Christianity in a nutshell. All right. So let's continue. Let's go to verse. All right. Oh, hold on. Let me finish reading. Verse 4. That we, through patience and comfort of the scriptures, might have hope. Romans 15:4 again. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we, that's Israelites, through patience and comfort of the scriptures, might have hope. See, when you understand this word, when you get this word broken down to you by a preaching prophet of the Lord, which reside at 1 West 125th Street, ISUPK, under Commanding General Yohanan. You're not getting counsel from authorized priests from that has been brought up correctly under the ranks of Commander Yohanan, then you're just absolutely not getting raised up right, and you're not in the truth. It hurts. I understand. It hurts your feelings that hey, what are you saying? It hurt my feelings at one time. I was offended until I got more knowledge, until I started to question, until I started to understand and get and have a sincere desire to understand why these claims are being made. Why do you say these things? And once you have a real sincere desire to learn, the Lord will reveal it to you. He'll give you the understanding, and it's just everything. It just makes it so clear. The whole we are not affiliated with any other Israelite group. Everything we do, and it's based all around the scriptures. So if you don't understand something, because maybe you're unlearned and you need to be taught, just like that Ethiopian eunuch that needed to be taught, that was riding in the chariot and reading Isaiah at the time, and then Philip was walking and heard him reading. I believe that was Philip, if I'm not mistaken, and heard him reading Isaiah, and Philip asked him, "You know what it is you're reading? I hear you over here. You know what that is? You know what they talking about?" And the eunuch was sincere. He was humble. And that's what we lack today, people with humility. And that humble eunuch said, "How can I unless some man teach me?" And that's the point we all have to come to in our lives. We have to come to the point where we recognize that, look, I don't know everything, and how can I know unless a prophet of the Lord teach me and break this thing down to me so that I can learn, so that it can make sense, so that in the book of Nehemiah, it says that Nehemiah gave the people the sense. I mean, he broke them scriptures down. If you listen to Commander Yohanan, if you listen to General Muhammad, oh my Lord, he will break the scriptures down. Listen, General Muhammad need a podcast, Bible for Dummies or something like that, where he breaking the Bible down, because it's so plain when he gets it's so relatable. You understand? That's why everything that about the ISUPK is so right. That even down to the name, Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, because you can put this stuff into practice, this information into practice, and it will change your life. What's this? Oh, okay. You can get rid of that. I can't even get rid of it. All right, you got that off. Oh, good. Nobody's on Twitch. So, all right. So, where we at? So that's what we want. We want to have our minds and hearts and ears open to receive this word, and so that we can change, because it's written for our learning, for us to be able to change our life, and to regain and to reclaim our culture, our heritage, what it is that, how it is that we're supposed to be living in this day and time. You know, the Lord wasn't playing when he said that we are a holy nation, severed from any other nation, severed from every other people, and we are a nation unto himself. So if you're walking around and you just like any other simpletons walking around here in whatever city you may be in, if you're acting, if you're not different in some type of way, where it's obvious that like okay, he got a different zeal, he got a different vibe to him. You understand? Then you maybe need to question yourself. Have you been transformed by the renewing of your mind, or are you still conformed to this world? You understand? Because look, there's absolutely no confusion in the matter once you truly been changed. No confusion. All right. Things start happening. You'll just start making different decisions. You start making better decisions, and you will start being more humble. You understand? Like, these are the processes that I myself went through. You understand? You start taking accountability for your wrongdoings. You know what I'm saying? And you'll see how that is so much better, and it goes so much better. It's more in line to what the Lord wanted for this world. All right. Back to John chapter 2. Who was reading that? John chapter 2.
This is the book of John, chapter 2 and verse 13. And the Jews' Passover was at hand.
Mm-hmm.
And Yahushua went up to Jerusalem and found in the temple those that sold oxen and sheep and doves, and the changers of money sitting.
All right. So all right. So what we got going on right here? What do we have going on right here? Put yourself in your house shoes. You going? This is the Passover. Our most exalted in of our high holy days, the Passover. This is when the Lord delivered his nation, his children, out of Egypt, out of the clutches. Adawan is about to do a series on the 7 captivities, the 7 what's Slaki? What's the name of it again?
I'm doing a series on the captivities.
Just on the captivities.
On the 7 captivities.
I thought you had a name for it, Slaki. But he's doing he's great. Start a series next week on the 7 captivities, and it's going to be a very interesting series because you're going to come to understand that there's nothing new under the sun. That like the tactics that's why if you was in class, you can look back and you will see a sign that says America is Egypt in the classroom, because there is nothing different between that captivity and this captivity except for technology. The only thing different. Our mindset is still the same. We're still slaves. And the oppressor's mindset is still the same. They're still taskmasters. That's why they'll have you working 7 days a week if they could get away with it. They will have you working 7 days a week. If they could just get away with it, they will have you just building up this kingdom, just building up their empire, bringing all your wealth and your riches into their storehouses. You understand? Because that's what a greedy nation would do. They don't leave nothing. That's why I like it baffles my mind when you're reading the book, our records of the, because make no mistake about it. This Bible is the records of the Israelites. This is our history book. The point of view of this Bible, if you don't know, is that these are written by Israelites and it documents our history, our shortcomings, and when we did what was right in the eyes of the Lord. All right. But that's what this is. But it's so powerful that it can empower anyone that applies the principles. That's why America takes this book and talk about that they're one nation under God, and they will use, different. They will exalt it, make you put your right hand on the Bible before you go in court and swear on the Bible, and do all kind of blasphemous stuff to make an illusion that they fear the Lord, but they don't fear the Lord. They don't fear the God of this Bible because they do everything contrary to the God of this book. Everything. It's like they read the book and said, "Oh, he's schizophrenic. This God of this Bible is schizophrenic. We ain't got to do nothing that this God says," and just make up their own thing, but still, in some weird way, hold it in the and actually unalive folks in the name of this people in this book. like you heard of the Crusades? Like that's what that was all about. Like, and they have made a great nation because they followed some of the things that were written in this book to their perverse way of receiving what they read, because they don't understand what they're reading, because the Bible is written in allegory. It's written in metaphors. It's a metaphoric book, and it's written in allegory. So you can't take everything at face value when you're reading this book. You can't take everything at face value. Every story isn't meant to be taken as a literal story. You would read the story of the prodigal son and think like, oh, that's what this story meant. But no, it may mean that, but it has multiple meanings. There's a bigger picture being painted here than what you see on face value. You understand? But you got to have the Spirit of the Lord, and that Spirit resides here in the ISUPK and the Command Journal, because that brother, that he put his life into righteousness, brotherhood. Like who? Oh man, like it's amazing. When you sit there and think about it, it's amazing the amount of brotherhood that Commander Junior Hanna has, and how that brotherhood that he has, he makes sure that everyone under him has that same amount of brotherhood. And that's how you build a righteous nation, when you have accountability, when you have righteous leadership. The book of Proverbs, it's that Proverbs 20, book of Proverbs chapter 20, I think it's 20 something. I think it's 28. Was it 28? No, 20. I thought I just seen it. When the righteous rule, Is it 28?
What's that? 39. Proverbs is it 39?
Is it 31? No, it's Proverbs only go to 31. When the righteous rule the people rejoice. It's I can't believe I can't. Oh, verse chapter 29, verse 2. Mm-hmm. Chapter 29, verse 2. And it reads, I can read that too. It reads, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. Like there's joy in the land. It's not a whole bunch of tension. You're not going to see a whole bunch of gang violence, people clicked up and whatnot, because when the righteous are ruling, that trickles down. And you can see that right here in ISUPK under Command General Yohana. You can see example of what's going to happen worldwide once Christ our King come back to reign here on earth. And you're going to see just what it means to be in a place where righteousness rules, man. Where righteousness is in authority. Because we listen to everything our King tell us to. We listen to Command General Yohana. Command General Yohana listens to our King. Our King listens to no one but the Most High. All right? And that's just the order of things. I mean, nothing we do is going outside the order. That's why no one can come and bring up some type of railing accusation against us and accuse us of different things. They try, but it all just gets squashed. Like what is this? Like when you have integrity, when you know you're doing things right, you don't have to walk around in fear and walk around with being timid and whatnot, because you know I might be found out. No, you ain't got to walk around like that. You're gonna walk around with assurance that, look, I know that my zeal is in the right place. You know what I'm saying? Because you can look at my actions. Speaking of that, let's go to the book of the book of, where's my paper at? That's the wrong paper. I'm gonna write that on.
You want what?
I'm looking for my paper, Slack it. The book of it's in give me Numbers 25. Start with book of Numbers 25. We're gonna look at a couple examples of some brothers or sisters that had zeal, the proper zeal for the Lord. You understand? And you just gotta ask yourself, do you have this type of zeal? Where is your zeal at? Or do you walk around with the same type of attitude that a lot of people, unfortunately, that I unfortunately hear a lot of people say, where they try to excuse themselves from any kind of controversy by taking a side of righteousness. That's why in Psalms the Lord asks, who will stand for me against these wicked doers? Who gonna stand on my side? All right, that's the question the Lord is asking, because you're gonna be faced with that very same situation. Each and every one of us going to be faced with that very same situation where we're going to have to make a choice. Are you going to stand with the Lord, or are we going to face the multitude that is trying to do wrong? And I'm the only one that knows in my heart, man, this ain't right. What you going to do? You going to stand strong, or are you going to trim your ways to seek love out of fear? At that. You understand? You trimming your ways to seek love out of fear because they got you shook, because you're not a real man. You're not a real man. You're weak. You're easily swayed. You're like a piece of blade of grass that just get blown whichever way the wind blows. You don't have a backbone. You don't have no rigidity to yourself. You're not solid. You're just wishy-washy. You're everywhere. All right. All right. What I call Numbers 25. Start with verse 1.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 25 and verse 1. And Israel abode in Shittim,
Mm-hmm.
and the people began to commit whoredom with the daughters of Moab.
They began to do what?
They began to commit whoredom with the daughters of Moab.
Meaning, anybody know? Man, Chris, you know what that means? You know what's going on here? Do you have in your mind? Can you illustrate what's happening? Can you paint a picture of what's going on right here in this verse?
They started messing with the women of Shittim.
And all right. Read 1 again. They abode in Shittim. That's the region, but that's not the people that they were committing whoredoms with. Read that verse again.
And Israel abide in Shittim, and the people began to commit whoredom with the daughters of Moab.
With the who?
With the daughters of Moab.
Who are the daughters of Moab today? Do you know, Chris? Young man, Chris?
The Russians?
No. Daughters of Moab will not be. The Russians would be the Edomites. You know how Israel have 12 tribes, and we all have different, just like a different spirit on us. We're same spirit, but different. We express it differently. You know, our Issachar brothers, they dress a certain way. Our Levite brothers, the Haitians, they dress a certain way. You get the people that over in on the islands, because of their climate, they have to dress a certain way and have certain cultures, and even the foods are different. So the same thing that happened with us, with our 12 tribes, and how we got scattered, and we're different, and we're not all the same. We don't even all look the same. That's what you have with Esau, with the descendants of Esau, the Edomites, or Amalek. That's who the people that call themselves Jews right now. That's who they descend from. They descend from Amalek. But the Russians are Edomites. They will not be Moab. Moab is a different nation. Do you know which nation that is? I'll give you one more chance, real quick. If not, there's no sweat. We can move on. But the Moabites are the Chinese. They will be the Chinese. Ammon, Ammon, Ammon is going to be the Japanese. So when you see Moab and Ammon, that's the Chinese and the Japanese. You got something? Oh, you good? Okay. So that's all right. So that's so the people of Israel began to commit whoredoms with these Chinese folks, Moabites. All right. Keep reading.
And they called the people unto the sacrifices of their gods.
And they did what? Called the people unto the sacrifices of their gods. That's why it's very important that we obey the scriptures, man. The Lord left these 7 nations. The Lord left 7 nations around us that to test us, to make sure that we will follow, whether we will follow Him or whether we will do our own thing and do what these other nations around us do. And we failed that test. You understand? Because we've always had an envious nature to our oppressor. We always want to envy our oppressor and choose all of his ways instead of choosing the ways that the Lord had already laid out for us to go. The way that He already laid out for us to go, we don't abide by that way. We abide. We look at those around us, and next thing you know, we want that. We want that. We want that. That's how we got. That's how we ended up with Saul, because the nations around the nations around Israel was ruled by kings, ruled by mere men. You understand? So Israel, being envious of that, they wanted a king, and they desired a king, and the Lord had to tell Samuel, look, it ain't you they're rejecting me to rule over them, and that's just the sad facts, and that's our history. That's why I said this record is our good and our bad. It's everything, you understand? But within it all, it's our way back to our King and our God and our power. You know, understand? It's a way, it's a roadmap for us to get back to being the sons of God once again. All right, and being on the top, not the bottom, like we supposed to be. Okay. All right, keep reading. If you will, young man Chris, start with verse 3. Slaki. Numbers 25 and verse 3 is where we got. And we're gonna read to verse 9, and then we're gonna be done with in Numbers. All right, so verse 3. You can go ahead, read. Yep.
And Israel joined himself unto Baal Peor, and the anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord said unto Moses, take all the heads of the people and hang them up before the Lord against the sun, that the fierce anger of the Lord may be turned away from Israel.
All right. So what's happening here? Yeah. It's we in the thick of it. What's happening? What's happening right here? The Lord said what? The Lord said what to Moses? Do what again? You know, when we get an order, we got to follow all orders. That's why here in the ISUPK, we have a saying: follow all orders. You know, follow all orders. No, you know, as long as you like you know what's sin and what's not, and you know when you get an order that goes against scripture or not. So unless there's something that goes against scripture, we are to follow all orders. And if the Lord tells you to go and hang, read that verse again, because I like the way they put it. Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto Moses, take all the heads of the people.
Take all the heads of these people. They're just their heads. We don't need the rest of them. We just need the head. Go ahead.
And hang them up before the Lord against the sun.
And hang them up against the sun. Go ahead.
That the fierce anger of the Lord may be turned away from Israel.
So that the Lord can again have mercy upon Israel. Take these heads, hang them up against the sun, so that the Lord's anger can be turned away against Israel. Keep reading, verse 5.
And Moses said unto the judges of Israel, slay ye every one his men that were joined unto Baal Peor.
And what's Baal Peor? Anybody know? Off the top of the head, what's Baal Peor? What does Baal Peor represent? Slaki. Sister Kanai, I see you have a Zondervan Bible, Pictorial Bible Dictionary right there. Do they have Baal Peor in that? I would like to know if they have that definition in that Bible dictionary. They may not, though, but there may be a chance there is. Baal, BAALP /PEOR, PEOR. Baal Peor. It's not in there. All right. So go ahead. So Slack, y'all one. Go ahead.
It's a false god of the Moabites.
Right. So what it represents is idolatry. It represents idolatry, and that's the reason. What's the reason why the Most High told us not to marry women of other nations? What's one of the reasons why He told us not to marry women of other nations? Because they're going to do what?
Turn us away from Him.
And
follow after their gods.
And follow after their gods. Exactly. And listen, this is the numbers right here. This is before Solomon. We've been dealing with this problem for a while now with our folks. That's why, today, there was a powerful interview on Club Shay Shay with Cat Williams and with him expressing how you get these entertainers and these people and what our oppressor do, because he understands our issues. They'll go and make these little deals and whatnot, and give them and go find them he said go find them a light bright, go find them a light skinned little red bone girl. You know what I'm saying? That basically look the same, and if it ain't that, what the next step up is. I ain't got to explain, because you got a whole bunch of people right out here today that choose to go that route. My own son chose to go that route. You understand? But I pray that he comes to recollection and comes to his senses one day. Not saying to leave her, but just come to his senses one day and know what he's in and know his situation, which he kind of does already, but just not the extent of exactly like who the hell did I marry? Yeah, you married the devil that the Bible speaks of. That's who you married. And a lot of people don't want to take that harsh truth. That truth hurts a little too much. I can't bear that. I can't stand to hear that. All right, but you're gonna hear it, because whether they hear or whether they forbear is what the scripture says. We ought to speak this truth. Keep reading. Go to verse 5. Well, no, verse 6. We're on verse 6. So, all right. So Moses told the judges. He told the judges of Israel to get the chopping. The Lord, you heard the Lord. The Lord want their head. Y'all got to carry out these orders. So get the chopping. Well, I don't care how your neighbor feels about it, how your wife feels about it, how your kid feels about it, how your favorite niece feels about it, how your dog feels about it. That joker got to go. And that's the bottom line. Can the Lord find that type of dedication here in these last days in 2024? Right, even right here in small old Delaware, can He find that type of dedication where you're gonna follow the order? Not saying that the Lord will give that type of command right now, because we don't serve a power that's ignorant, that's dumb. You understand? He understands everything that we're going through. He understands that the time that we're living in. Con, Trooper Naharia. Jonathan Majors is his name. He had to learn it the hard way. Listen, she just messed up the whole Marvel universe. I thought Kang was going to be a formidable opponent, but all she needed was a couple of words, and she destroyed Kang the Conqueror. The white man is the devil and woman is the devil that the Bible speak of. You understand? She destroyed, absolutely obliterated his little conquest mission before it even began. All with some words. Not a single bullet had to be shot. a sword didn't have to be swung. A knife didn't have to be. Nobody had to catch any type of physical harm in the taking down of a world of a universe conqueror and Kang the Conqueror. It's amazing, but we've been going through this for a while now. Like history repeats itself. There's nothing new under the sun. Just ask the Till family. And I thank the Lord for that strong woman that said, no, we're not going to hide what these evil bastards did to my son. I want an open casket and let the world see what happened to my son. You understand? Because they had their own type of zeal when it came to issuing out that type of beating that brother had to endure over a lie, over this white okay, call it a B. This white dog, female dog, all right, since Christ said it basically that way, I could say it that way. This white female dog years later said that he never even whistled at her. Never even whistled at her. But he was unalive over a lie. Kang the Conqueror, you lost your bid to conquer the universe in the Marvel universe over a lie. Because the video evidence definitely wasn't lying. That brother was a track star. He was running. He was absolutely running. Back turn. And she had a lot of stamina too, because she was after him for a minute. she was dedicated to whatever they had going on. All right, keep reading, Baba Kashab.
And behold, one of the children of Israel came and brought unto his brethren a Midianish woman in the sight of Moses.
Right. So one of the brothers of the children of Israel came and brought this Midianitish woman to the sight of Moses and the sight of all the congregation of the children of Israel. So help me out here. Who's this? What's a Midianite? What's a Midianitish woman? What that mean? What type of woman was she? Was she Israelite? That was an easy question. Somebody should have blurted that out right away. Was she an Israelite? Exactly. The Bible says she's a Midianitish woman. I mean, you can take everything at face value. I mean, a lot of questions aren't trick questions. As long as you're staying in the class, you can see exactly what the answer is. So this is a Midianitish woman, and this brother, and behold, one of the children. This person of the children of Israel came and brought unto his brethren. So he was a man, because he says it brought unto his brethren a Midianitish woman in the sight of Moses. Keep reading. And in the sight of all congregation of the children of Israel. Keep reading.
And in the sight of all the congregation of the children of Israel, who were weeping before the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And when Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, saw it, he rose up from among the congregation and took a javelin in his hand. And he went after the man of Israel until the tent.
What's it, Salaki? What's it? Say the name again. What's his brother's name again? I like
Eleazar.
That's verse 7, right? And when Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, saw it. All right, so Phinehas or Phinehas. Go ahead. He the one that rose up from among the congregation. He's the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, grandson. So it's Aaron's grandson. Go ahead.
And he went after the man of Israel into the tent and thrust both of them through.
And he took a javelin in his hand. What's a javelin? Anybody know what a javelin is? Go ahead, sis. It's like a spear, right? Right. Yeah, exactly. It's like a spear. I believe it's shorter than a spear is, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if I can pull a picture up of the javelin. I believe it's shorter than a spear, but it got a pointy. It got a pointy end. All right.
I think javelins are used to be long, like long distance and things like that.
Right. That's a javelin.
Say it again. It's long. So they basically it's like a spear.
God.
Yeah, my internet for some reason it ain't loading up. All right, so he took a javelin and he did what with this javelin?
Thrust both of them through.
He thrust. Go read it again.
And thrust both of them through.
Uh-huh.
The man of Israel and the woman through her belly.
Uh-huh.
So the plague was stayed from the children of Israel.
All right, so describe what happened to me right here. And try to do it as clean as possible, but try to get as graphic as possible. What did you read right there on what happened?
He pretty much paraded this woman through.
Who paraded who through?
Said a brother of Israel brought a Midianite woman, so he walked through. He did it in front of Moses, and it sounds like they were in their tent. They're pretty much getting it on, and he walked in and just stuck both of them through.
Uh-huh. And all right, go to that point where he stuck both of them through. What did it say? Read that part. Read that account again. Verse 8.
And he went after the man of Israel into the tent.
All right, stop right there. All right, so at the beginning in verse, what was that, 6? He said, and behold, one of the children of Israel came and brought unto his brethren a Midianitish woman in the sight of Israel and in the sight of all the congregation of the children of Israel, who were weeping before the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. So this person, in all his pride, thought he was doing something and took this strange woman into it, paraded her like you said, paraded her through town, took her into his tent, and I don't want to say too much, but what was happening? It says it right there. In verse 8. You got to be, you have to have it, you got to illustrate it. You got to paint the picture in your mind as you read those words. Because they got to a certain point. The javelin went through the man first, right? And then it went through the woman's belly, right? So what type of position did they have to be in to be able to be unalive in that fashion? It's quite possible that this man was laying on top of that woman, and with no shame, no remorse, he just gonna do him. Parade her through, like you said, parade her through town, took her to his tent, and was getting busy. But the zeal of the Lord entered to find Phinehas, Aaron's grandson, and he handled his business. He handled not his business, but he stood on the Lord's business. You understand? And that's what we are. We got to have the courage to be able to stand on the Lord's business, no matter how severe or how extreme we think that the action may be. Because all right, let's finish that account. Let's read. Keep reading. Because we're reading down to verse 9. Read verse 9.
And those that died in the plague were 20 and 4,000.
Because of this insolent God, and because of how brash he was in his sin. Because listen, this is the book of Numbers right here, and Moses is still in the picture. So that means what? We're still in the wilderness. We haven't entered into the promised land yet. We're receiving the laws. We're receiving what we can, and cannot do. All right. We've been given the law on interracial marriage already. You know, we've been given that law already. We know what time it is. And for someone to be so brash to do certain things at this point, at this gesture, because it says, I didn't read the chapters before on why that in verse 6 it says in the sight of all the congregation of the children of Israel who were weeping before the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. Shalak Alawan, do you know why they were already in a state of weeping? I didn't read the Shalak to you all. I didn't read before. Maybe I can get the answer by reading before. We started at verse 7, right? 6, right? Or did we start verse 1? Yeah, we started at verse 1, so we have to go to verse chapter 24. Let me see if I can figure out why they were in a state of weeping.
What you looking for?
Why they were in a state of weeping? Well, who? It says the children of Israel who were weeping before the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. This was before Phinehas went in and before right when he was parading this Midianitish woman to the tent. It says that the people of Israel were weeping, and I was just wondering why they were weeping at that moment. Were they weeping at what this brother was doing, or something else was going on? I would have to look that up. Salakia to everyone that's at home that may be looking online. That one precious individual that's looking online. I had to get that answered, and I'm gonna get that answered because that's important to that story. I believe that's important to that story because if like the nation is in a state of weeping, that means there's something going on with sin present in the camp, and it's causing turmoil. It's causing judgment from the Lord. You understand? And that in order for the plague to be stayed in this situation, that Midianitish woman and that brother, that Israelite brother had to be unalive, and it stopped. And it says, and those that died in the plague were 24,000. So up until that point, 24,000 people had died, had been unalive, had passed away up until that point. You understand? Because of sin.
Right.
But you're gonna have to have zealous people who are zealous for the laws of the Lord, but who are zealous for his laws, his statutes and his commandments. You know, that's gonna stand on his word and do what must be done. Are you that person? Are we that people? I know ISUPK is that organization that is going to stand with the Lord throughout everything. You can see it. I mean, you can see it. No matter how much anybody try to turn against us, no matter how much they try to paint us out to be the bad guys, you can see the Lord defending us each and every turn. You know, they can't take the credit for it. It's the Lord that is doing these things. It's the Lord that is defending us. It's the Lord that's our rock and our salvation. In whom shall we fear? We don't fear nobody, but our King and our power. You understand? We obey our King and we fear the power. We fear our God. And that ought to encourage you to do what's right, to do what thus saith the Lord. to increase your zeal. Have the zeal of Mattathias in the book of Maccabees, and how he fought zealously for the laws of his fathers. We got to fight zealously for the laws of our fathers, for what we've been passed down, for everything that we have inherited here in these last days. This truth that we have inherited in these last days, we can't take it for granted. We can't take it with a grain of salt or none of that other type of stuff. We got to take it for what it is. A life-saving, a whole, it's more than life-saving. It'll change your whole situation. Like it'll make you into what the Lord wants us to be, which is the top, which is the head, not the tail. Top, not the bottom. We are his people, and we are to be his representatives here on earth. We are nigh unto the Lord. We sons of the power. And everyone should be reverencing us for that. But they got to see the example that we're setting. And that's why it's important that we all set that right example for others to come in and to be able to see that. Like, go ahead.
What was the question that you asked? What was that you asked? Why was what? I thought you asked something, so go ahead.
Did I ask something? What I asked?
Yes. Why in verse 6 it said that they were weeping?
Oh, you went back there. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I thought you were talking about something recent. Slack it. In verse 6. Yeah. Why were they in a state of weeping when at the time when this person brought hold on a second.
Were they weeping because of what was going on? Because of the worship of Baal?
Okay, I see. No, Salaki. We actually already read it. Yeah. It was because of what happened earlier when he took the heads of these people and hung them up. In verse 4. And the Lord said unto Moses, take all the heads of the people and hang them up before the Lord against the sun. The audacity of this Negro to march this Midianitish woman through after she got to see the heads. I don't know, and he asked to see the heads on the spikes or walls, or where did it say? Hang them up before the Lord. It don't say where. It just says to hang them up. So they got to be up and just ahead. And these are individuals that have transgressed and went against what the Lord commanded. And this guy, no fear, did the exact same thing. And Phinehas, Aaron's grandson, that zeal that stirred up in him, similar to Mattathias, it's similar to that situation in the heat of things, because this is in the heat of things. His has already been hung up. You understand? When this guy did this, in the book of Maccabees, Mattathias, the king's messengers was already there telling them, look, we know you got rank. We know you got a little authority around these people, and if you do something, they're gonna follow you. Why don't you just say that that we're all one people, we all serve one God. You're not allowed to profess yourself to be a Jew anymore. You can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, can't do that. You gotta eat pork, you gotta sacrifice on the temple. You gotta sacrifice pork on a pig on the temple, and you gotta do all this. If you do it, we're gonna have no problem with everybody else, and we can live in peace. Because remember, we in charge now. We run shit. We're on top. We're the big dogs. But Mattathias had zeal. He feared the Lord rather than man, and that's what you got to do. You got to fear the Lord rather than man. and say, look, I don't give a damn what you talking about. I'm standing with the Lord, no matter what. Even if it comes to you having to stand for the Lord unto death. You have to make your decision. You can't be on the fence. You can't be wishy-washy. You just got to stand firm and stand straight. You can't waver. Right, left. You gotta be straight in the middle. Walking that straight and narrow. All right. You just got, and that's something that has to be done. All right, we're gonna go to the last scripture. Let's go to Give me 1 second. I want to see which one I want to go to first. Well, it's gonna be the last scripture, so I want to see which one I want to go to. You got an apocrypha over there, right? Yeah. All right. Because I may go to Judith 13. It's either Joshua 7 or Judith 13. Let me check. Let's see which one I want real quick. All right, now let's go to Judith 13, and it's in the Apocrypha. Book of Judith, chapter 13, starting on verse 1. Because we gave an example of a brother that had zeal, Aaron's grandson, Phineas. Now we're going to talk about a sister that had an extraordinary amount of zeal, that didn't fear, that feared the Lord rather than man. Judith. The book of Judith in the Apocrypha. Book of Judith is right after Tobit. In the Apocrypha, chapter 13, start with verse 1. You can read it when you get it.
Now when the evening was come, his servants made haste to depart. And Bagos shut his tent without and dismissed the waiters from the presence of his lord. And they went to their beds, for they were all weary, because the feast had been long. And Judith was left alone in the tent. And Holofernes, lying alone upon his bed, for he was filled with wine. Right.
So we had this, and give me 1 second. I'm gonna tell you who Olaphanes. How you pronounce that? Olaphanes for Olaphanes. Olaphanes. Yeah, Olaphanes is. Give me 1 second here. And just to give you a little heads up, even in the Apocrypha, they will spell this name, and even right here in this book of Judith, they spell the person's name with an H at the beginning, or they'll spell it with an O at the beginning. They would say Holofernes or Olaphanes. All right. So I believe this is in the Apocrypha was written in is it Greek? So other one is the Apocrypha written in Greek?
God.
I believe it was Greek. So you're gonna get different pronunciation. You're gonna get even Xerxes, if you go to the editions of Exeter, is spelled different. But Olaphanes is hold up. The Jews were afraid of Olaphanes is he's the chief captain of Nebuchadnezzar, king of the Assyrians. All right. That's who this guy is. This guy is an op. He's an op. All right. I'm gonna say it in terms that people online maybe gonna have some youngsters online that might not know he's an opponent. He's an enemy. Because look, the Assyrians had the Israelites in captivity, in bondage, and we're going to be learning more about that in the next coming weeks with Officer Thashiyam. He's going into the 7 captivities of the Israelites that are recorded in the Bible. Look forward to that. Get your notepads, your notebooks, and follow along. Starting Monday, that lesson will commence. All right. It will be how many part? It will be an absolutely 7-part lesson. We're going to listen. When we giving our people understanding, it's a great responsibility. So we want to be thorough as possible. We don't want to rush through these things, and we want to give our people a understanding. And once you, at the conclusion of this, you will understand that we are those same people in antiquity that served all 7 of those captivities that you're going to hear about, that we're going to learn about here in the future. You're going to be able to relate to them. You're going to be able to relate to them right here, right now, present day America. In present day America, in present day Haiti, in present day Dominican Republic, in present day Jamaica, in present day UK, in present day wherever our people may be at, wherever. Because we are scattered throughout the 4 corners of the earth. And you can best believe throughout those 4 corners of the earth, the same agenda is going on to destroy us. You don't believe me? Go to Psalms chapter 83. It tells you the nations are confederate against us. They have taken crafty counsel against us. All right. So they're going to implement the same type of destructive measures in order to get us to not serve our God. So we can, as long as they can keep God out, the Most High power out the picture, they got an easy fight because they just fighting us. But once we get our stuff together and allow the Lord to fight our battles, then our enemies they gonna cower away and they will be defeated. Christ says in the hour when that final battle happens, he's gonna make quick work of that. That's gonna take about an hour. Yeah, about an hour. Think about that, man. Think about that. World War I and World War II took about how many years? And we're talking years. We just came out of Afghanistan, and that was a 20-year war, and didn't win that. We just said, look, these jokers fight too hard, too much. They believe in what they believe in. We gotta go. If not, we'll be fighting them forever. And they just left. Christ's gonna make quick work of all of our enemies. And you know what? Them people that were so resilient in Afghanistan, they're gonna be one of those enemies that Christ, our King, is gonna fight and destroy in an hour. Something that America couldn't even do in 20 years. In 20 years, that stuff gonna be taken care of quick, fast, and in a hurry. Don't worry at all. It's gonna be taken care of, and you're gonna get yourself some. Don't worry, you're gonna get yourself some. Lord is righteous, man. He's gonna save you some because he knows what you've been through. He knows what you've been through, and he can relate. All right. So the Lord says in the book of Jeremiah that first we're going to be fishers. I think it's Jeremiah. You see Jeremiah or Ezekiel. Then he's going to turn us into hunters. All right. And we're going to go out and hunt them from the depths of the rocks because, they're making a little underground bunker and whatnot, thinking that they're going to be able to escape the wrath to come, but that's not we're gonna have an internal we're gonna have an internal GPS that'll put these little GPS systems to shame. We're gonna know exactly where these bastards are hiding at, and we're gonna go get them. It sounds fun, don't it? It sounds hella fun, but that's the patience and the comfort of the saints. That's a reward to someone that has been diligent, that has been consistent, that has been faithful, that has been true. That reward doesn't go to just any and every old body. You got to work for that type of reward. All right? Because Christ ain't giving out crowns to just any old body. He's just not. Think of all things he went through. He said, you got to go through these same things. And we have been going through these same things. Jacob's trouble has been the times that started way back when. Jacob been in trouble. You understand? Jacob was in trouble at the time of the damn womb. They was already fighting. His trouble started in the womb. Like, God damn, I can't remember the time we ain't been fighting these devils. And that's just truth. So gird up. Gird up. Store up zeal. Store up that zeal. Have a zealous spirit and a commitment to even if you have to die for these laws, statutes, and commandments in this way of life, because it's worth it. It's worth dying for. It's worth being unalive for. This truth is worth it. We've been lied to all our lives. This truth is worth being discovered and being broadcast throughout the four corners of the earth to all that downtrodden that have been that have been the victim of the lies of the oppressor, that have been victims of their deception and their manipulations, you know. And the Lord is going to recompense on their heads all that they have done. So stir up that zeal within you, and let's get this kingdom, man. Let's get this kingdom. It's not a 100-yard dash, 200-yard dash. It's not a 400-meter, or whatever you call them. It's not none of those races that can be measured. It's a marathon. And you don't know when it's going to end. You just have to endure until the end. That's the mindset you got to have, no matter what goes on. And that's how you serve God in spirit and in truth. Like you already have in your mind, no matter what, this is who I am. Forget the rest. I'm going to keep studying to show myself to be approved. I keep growing in this word and keep being consistent. And most importantly, not drop my sword. All right? All right. Any questions in the class? Any questions online? Triponalia, good to see you. That brother that used to be in the Marvel movie. Oh, yeah, I read that one already. What else we got here? Oh, we got a nut. And that's it. We're going to turn the class over to Priest and Officer Thasian. All right, where's my...
All right, this is the ISUPK announcements. Rules for new brothers and new sisters. When a new brother and new sister come into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are here to learn, to shed themselves of the world. If you need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if you have interest in a particular person, seek counsel from the head. Tithing, which is the commandment. Ma'asherah means 10 in Hebrews. That's Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8-10. That's 10% of any increase the Lord gives you. You can put right here. We have a box right there that you can put it in. All right? Preach funds, not mandatory. Whatever amount you would like to give, you may give. We got the up and coming Holy Convocation, which is the Feast of Purim. It'll be February 22nd and 23rd. All right. That feast will be right here at 202 North DuPont Boulevard. All right. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, pants, scarf, and headband, and saying that. Amiju, we're gonna give one courtesy salute to the brothers. Men of Israel, by Shabbat, Amiju, Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatham, Yom the top, means arms down, star means to turn. We're gonna give the sisters a courtesy salute. Amiju means to stand to the sisters. Men of Israel, we're going to give the sisters a courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Amiju Shabbat, Amiju, Barak,
Yahweh Shemar Thamba Hashem Yahushua.
Yom Natah, class dismissed.
All right.
Westworld.
Weapons of our warfare is not carnal, I was born in it. You converted, this is not for you. Weapons of our warfare is not carnal, I was born in it. You converted, this is not for you. Handle lights and teddy bears, I'm trying to leave your block romantic. Flicking off the hip, I lead a scene, looking like I'm dancing. Ain't one Westworld, best believe we not gon' stamp it. Titties on a drum, the stick figure looking outstanding. Rip his top with the hands of the Lord, call that God tear. Send a spear right to the sky and watch his front tear. I'm that nigga cause I run with them niggas, so let's get that clear. Don't question who say I'm the GOAT, I tell them God did. In order to be the best, you gotta beat the best. To me that's suicide. Of course I sound cocky to a glizzy eater, fuck your pride. Don't need a horoscope to see I'm a star, so fuck your sign. You can believe in anything you want, but as for me and mine, God mode. I am what I am, so let's just keep in mind. Don't wanna be like Yaya Kyrie, they wanna be like I. She said she lost until she found me, and then she found a tribe, and then I make a bout face until she called me out of wine. The weapons of our warfare is not carnal, I was born in it. You converted, this is not for you. Leave an imprint of my legacy with a spot for you. No way you can endure to the end if you not loyal. Weapons of our warfare is not carnal, I was born in it. You converted, this is not for you. Leave an imprint of my legacy with a spot for you. No way you can endure to the end if you not loyal. All time, no questions asked, we come and find you. His problems, my problems, and I'm standing behind you. Stepping with style, I'm standing on shit in my product. I take on the crowd, tell them all, throw in the towel. Half moon with a silencer, make it sound like a howl. We the shit, we about movements with a growl. Heavy is the head with the crown, when I take it I'm proud. I get the order, bring my sword back wet with a smile, nigga. I'm an Israelite rapper, nigga. Would never hit his wife, but I'll go at you. I make commitments to a gun if I'm talking about a tantrums. Nigga said he a stand-up dude, that mean we laughing, nigga. Jumped on the beat, start snapping, you leaving fractures. Red and green bean, I'm Gucci, you thinking fashion. Dad go shoot for the green, and I ain't talking St. Patrick. You screaming all lives, I'm screaming all guns matter. Keep it biblical, talking in parables, cause it matter. If I say bring Jake up, I'm talking about a ladder. He was the wave till I came with the fire, no John the Baptist. Who cared you did it first? You should be worried about who after. I'm connected in any habitat, shit I adapted. Nose job on a brand new snub is all plastic. That's why I show up the court with jeans on, I'm never slacking. You a rapper turned Israelite, I'm an Israelite rapping. Weapons of our warfare is not carnal, I was born in it. You converted, this is not for you. Leave an imprint of my legacy with a spot for you. No way you can endure to the end if you not loyal. Weapons of our warfare is not carnal, I was born in it. You converted, this is not for you. Leave an imprint of my legacy with a spot for you. No way you can endure to the end if you not loyal. All time, no questions asked, we come and find you. His problems, my problem. Stepping with style, I'm standing on shit in my product. I take on the crowd, tell them all, throw in the towel. Throw in the towel. Heavy is the head with the crown, when I take it I'm proud. I get the order, bring my sword back, wait with a smile.